So, Ellie, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and meet with me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about your business and how things are going?
We're an HVAC contractor, and we've been growing slowly but steadily.
Okay, great. Any issues with claims?
No major issues.
Okay, how about service? Anything keeping you up at night with that?
No, everything seems to be pretty good.
Okay. Okay, so have you actually had any claims?
We've had a couple, yeah.
Okay, what kind of claims have you had?
We've had a couple workers' comp claims. A couple guys who've been out, for a couple of months at a time. Usually have a couple of those every other year or so.
Okay.
We've had a couple little fender benders as well.
Okay, so a few auto claims. Okay, so I'm just curious, when your agent came out 3 months after renewal to do a claims review with you, and you got out your loss runs and looked at all the open claims and identified any of those high reserves and discussed a plan to get them reduced so you wouldn't be overpaying for insurance. I'm just curious, were you comfortable with how they handled that process?
I don't recall that happening.
Okay, so maybe it's not that important?
It's important.
Okay, can we put that on the shelf for a moment?
Sure.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, are you guys growing much right now?
Yes, we are. We're up 15% from last year.
Okay.
Of course, we're a seasonal business though, so it's kind of up and down.
Okay, so you're constantly hiring and then laying off and...
Not hiring and laying off, but adjusting payroll
Okay.
According to business needs.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just curious, 6 months after your renewal, when your agent came out to do a payroll review, got out your 941s from your accountant and your policies and looked at, the payroll on the policies and then the estimated payroll and made any adjustments to make sure you weren't hit with a audit at the end of the year messing up your budget. I'm just curious, were you comfortable with how they handled that process?
I don't remember that happening either.
So maybe that's not that big of a deal.
No, it sounds like a big deal.
Okay. Well, can we put that on a shelf for a moment too?
Sure.
Okay, great. So in regards to a claims review, how often would you like to have that happen throughout the policy term?
I would imagine twice a year is sufficient.
Okay. And I know you have a few locations, so which location would be best to handle that meeting if you want to do it in the office?
The Reno.
Okay. And who would you like to sit through a claims review with you on your staff?
Probably myself, our CFO, and our operations manager.
And what are their names?
The CFO is Becky, and the operations manager is Richard.
Okay. And what do you see happening in those claims reviews?
Just like to know where we're at, see if there's any opportunity to save some money.
Okay. Review those loss runs and reserves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying here's what I'm hearing you saying in regards to the claims review. You'd like to do it here in your Reno office every, twice a year to review, your loss runs, make sure the reserves are good. You'd like you to be involved in that, as well as your CFO, Becky, and your operations manager, Richard. Am I on track with that?
Yep.
Okay, great. Now in regards to the payroll review, how often would you like to see that happen?
Oh man, we're so seasonal, maybe even quarterly.
Quarterly? Okay. And who would you like involved in those meetings with you?
That's going to be myself, Becky, Richard, and probably bring in Patty from HR as well.
Okay. Okay. And Reno office?
Yes.
Okay. And what would you like to see happen from the payroll reviews?
Just make sure that we're on track. I have had that audit at the end of the year and ended up paying a lot of money, and it really was kind of a very frustrating process. So if there's
Sure.
something that I could do to avoid that, I would love to work on something.
Okay, great. So here's what I'm seeing you want in regards to the payroll review. You'd like to do it quarterly since you are, your payroll's increasing and decreasing. You'd like yourself to be involved, as well as Becky, your CFO, Richard, your operations manager, and then you want to bring in Patty, your HR manager, in the Reno office, and you just want to make sure you're on track as far as the audit goes, so you don't end up paying, a big audit at the end of the year.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm on track with that.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Well, there it is, Elena. What would you like me to do?
I would like to see a proposal, I suppose.
Okay, great. I can definitely do that. So that's the easy part. Can we talk about the hard part?
Sure.
Okay. So suppose it's 8 weeks from now, and there's your proposal. It's got everything on it you said you want.